Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The text came at 11:47 p.m. I can't keep living like this. I need more. I'm filing for divorce. I read it 3 times, waiting for the punchline, waiting for the just kidding. My chest felt hollow, like someone had scooped something out of me and left a shape behind. I called her immediately, straight to voicemail. When she finally answered 20 minutes later, her voice was calm. Too calm. "Daniel, we've talked about this." "No," I whispered. "You've complained. That's not the same thing." She exhaled sharply. "I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of pretending this is enough." Enough. That word would echo in my head for months. When we got married, we had nothing but a mattress on the floor and a secondhand coffee maker that leaked. We used to laugh about it. She'd kiss me and say, "One day we'll look back at this and smile." Somewhere along the way, she stopped smiling. It started subtly, missed calls when she said she was working late, a new password on her phone, long showers with a bathroom fan humming while her screen lit up with notifications. She'd flip face down when I walked in. I told myself I was paranoid. I'd lost my job when the company downsized. What was supposed to be a temporary setback stretched into months. I drove for rideshare, picked up freelance gigs, anything to cover rent. But it wasn't what she'd imagined for us. She began dressing differently, more polished, more expensive. "Client meetings," she'd say when I asked. One night, her phone buzzed while she was asleep. I wasn't proud of what I did next. I picked it up. The message preview read, "I can't wait until you're finally free." My hands trembled so badly I almost dropped the phone. I didn't open the conversation. I didn't need to. I knew. The next morning, I asked her directly, "Are you seeing someone?" She looked at me like I'd insulted her. "You really think I'd cheat on you?" I wanted to believe her so badly that I let her turn it around on me. "You're insecure, Daniel. You're projecting because you feel inadequate." That word again. Inadequate. So I apologized. The divorce was quick. Too quick. She'd already hired a lawyer. She'd already prepared statements about irreconcilable differences. There were no dramatic fights, no screaming matches, just paperwork and silence. The last thing she said to me as she packed her things was, "I need stability. I need someone who can give me the life I deserve." I stood in the doorway of our almost empty apartment and nodded like I understood. What I didn't understand was how quickly she moved on. 3 months later, I saw the engagement photos on social media. White roses, a sunset backdrop, her smile wide, effortless. Him beside her. He was older, well-dressed, the kind of man who didn't worry about overdraft fees, the kind of man who could give her more. The caption read, "When you finally choose yourself." It felt like a blade sliding between my ribs. I rebuilt quietly. I took a job I never thought I'd get, entry-level at a tech firm, long hours, no glamour. But I worked like a man with nothing left to lose. Because I didn't. Over time, I rose. Promotions, bonuses, the kind of stability she once said she needed. But by then, it wasn't about proving anything to her. It was about proving something to myself, that I was not defined by my worst season. Still, when the wedding invitation arrived a year later, my hand shook. It wasn't personal, just a generic card. But there was a small handwritten note at the bottom. "I hope you're doing well." I almost didn't go, but something inside me needed closure. Not revenge, not drama, just truth. The venue was beautiful. An upscale estate outside the city. Crystal chandeliers, polished marble floors, the faint scent of gardenias in the air. I stood in the back as guests mingled. No one recognized me. Then she saw me. Her smile faltered for just a second, enough for me to know it wasn't indifference. She approached slowly, her white dress trailing behind her. "Daniel," she breathed, "I didn't think you'd actually come." I almost didn't. Up close, she looked the same. But not. There were fine lines near her eyes I didn't remember. A tension in her jaw. "You look different," she said. "I've been working." She swallowed. I heard, "Congratulations." There was something in her tone. Not jealousy exactly. Something softer. Regret Maybe. Are you happy? I asked gently. She glanced across the room at her fiancé, laughing loudly with a group of men in tailored suits. He's stable, she said after a pause. That wasn't what I'd asked. And are you happy? She repeated, almost urgently. I thought about the nights I'd spent alone. The anger, the shame, the slow, painful rebuilding. I'm at peace, I said. Her eyes shimmered just slightly. I didn't cheat, she blurted out suddenly. Not physically. I needed to know there was another option. I was scared we'd always struggle. I know, I replied, and I did. That was the hardest part. She hadn't left because I was cruel or unfaithful. She left because she was afraid. Afraid I'd never be enough. Afraid she'd chosen wrong. I loved you, she whispered. I know that too. The music shifted. Guests began taking their seats. She hesitated. Do you hate me? For a long moment, I considered all the versions of that answer. No, I said finally, but I won't let you define my worth anymore. Her lips parted, like she wanted to say something else. Instead, she nodded and walked away. I watched her take her place at the altar, and for the first time since that text at 11:47 p.m., my chest didn't feel hollow. It felt full, not with love for her, not with bitterness, with understanding. She divorced me because I had nothing, but what she never realized was that I was never nothing. I just needed time to see it myself. When the ceremony began, I slipped out quietly. The night air was cool against my skin. I inhaled deeply, feeling something settle inside me. Some losses aren't about losing someone else. They're about finding yourself,